All right, joining me now, I think I could call him an SI Media podcast regular. He's been on a bunch of times. Always fun talking to the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Roman, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Jimmy. How are you, man?
I'm well. Good to see you again. I'm just curious because when we do this, I call you Roman, but everyone knows your name is Joe. How do you pronounce your last name? Because I don't want to ever say it wrong in case I ever use your last name. I know why. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows you as Roman Reigns, so it's easy to stick with that. Roman, of course, will be main eventing SummerSlam Saturday, August 21st. I like the WWE going to the Saturday day and over Sunday for this. SummerSlam Saturday, August 21st against John Cena on WWE Network on Peacock. So we'll get into all that. But before we get into all that, I wanted to start with some light things, and then we'll get into that. Because you're good with opinion. I don't know if you've seen this, and I only saw it because The Rock got involved in this, but there's been this trend on, I don't want to just say Twitter, it might be the entire internet, where like celebrities are saying that they don't shower, or they don't shower regularly or often. And let me get the tweet here because The Rock weighed in. Yeah, you seem surprised.
Gross, yeah.
Exactly. You have the proper reaction to this. And I had the tweet ready to go, and then I lost it. But let me read you what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wrote about this trend, because he weighed in on it and said he showers 3 times a day.
Yeah.
He does cold shower in the morning, warm after his workout, and then hot. Here's what he wrote. I'm the opposite of a not washing themselves celebrity. Shower cold when I roll out of bed to get my day rolling. Shower warm after my workout before work. Shower hot after I get home from work. Face wash, body wash, exfoliate, and I sing off key in the shower. So we need to know, what is Roman Reigns' stance on showering? Are you on the Rock side here, or are you one of these celebrities who are not showering that often?
Oh, I'm definitely with Dwayne right now. I'm kind of thrown off that this is a thing that they don't shower. You know what I mean? Like celebrities saying they don't shower. That's
I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal came out and said, like, the older once he hit 40 and the older he gets, he finds less of a need to bathe, was his quote.
Oh, that's not good. I don't know if there's some kind of evolution his skin's going through, but no, I mean, I'm a 2 to 3 shower a day guy. It depends on the day, right? And it depends on my workout. So, definitely after a workout, or if we have a show, so I'll work out before the show. So definitely after the workout, and then most likely before the show, just to kind of, rinse off, get, feeling good, smelling good, go out there and deliver. And then obviously after you perform, you got to shower again, right? Or if I'm at home, for sure, at least 2 times after, I have a morning workout cardio session. And then I have, like a big block of the day where I'm just doing dad stuff, taking care of the kids, helping out, doing, some upkeep at the house or chores, what have you. And then we'll train again. And then sometimes I would shower after that, or like a quick, nice little rinse, you know what I mean? Just to get out of those sweaty clothes, I would say, and then get another cardio session at night, which you want to shower. But as far as the temperatures, that he was very specific with the temperatures. And he has a routine. For me, I like a good medium, like a warm shower, but he didn't mention, I don't know if he does this or anybody else does this, but the best way to shower is to do a steam shower and then roll right into a cold shower after. Like you want to like kind of like
build up to it.
Yeah, well, even like start the shower while you're still steaming, because your pores are open. So when you're soaping up and washing up, it gets in. It's a deep cleaning, right? So I always throw that steam shower in there, depending on what happened throughout the day or even the night before. If I may have had a few drinks the night, before, we'll do it in the morning to get that sweat out, to get going and have a good day. But yeah, I don't know about this no shower and stuff. Mr. Gyllenhaal, come on now. We appreciate your work. You're very good at what you do, but we need you to be clean and shower up, buddy.
Glad to hear you're on the right side of this.
What about you? What are you?
Once a day. I'm not like you working out 10 times a day. So I can't start my day until I shower. So like I gotta as soon as I'm out of bed, I'm in the shower within like 5 minutes of waking up. I got to do that, and then if in the summer I grill a lot, and then I got to take a shower. If it's like one of those like 90-degree days and you're grilling burgers and stuff, I got to take a shower after that because that's gross. But once a day is usually good for me. We got to talk about SummerSlam and your match with John Cena. I'm going to ask you we're not going to get into like the John Cena bashing yet. We'll do that when we promote. I got to do like something nice. Did you see on Twitter?
I've been doing a lot of that this morning.
Wait, have you, but this is a much, much lighter. Have you seen on Twitter or Instagram? Because John ended up the black John Cena.
No.
You have not. You must not follow John Cena on Instagram.
Well, no, I don't. And I don't do too. I have 5 kids, so I don't do too much of the social media scrolling.
I don't know how it came about, but someone went viral on social media because he looked exactly like John Cena, but he was black, and literally the words "Black John Cena" were trending on Twitter because this picture went viral. So I just wanted to know if you saw it, but you did not.
It's weird because I know they did that years ago with Darren Young, I believe, from the Nexus, and he was tag team with Titus O'Neil. Fred Rozier, I think, is his real name. But I know there's a lot of comparisons between those two, and it was very, very close. Comparisons.
Let's get into the SummerSlam match a little bit. You and John coming back, got a great reaction from the crowd. Well, let's start with this because this happened to you as well. I mean, unfortunately, when you took a break, it was for medical reasons. But tell me if I'm wrong as just an observer of the WWE. It does seem like the best thing a lot of the people can do, especially the top stars like yourself and John, can do sometimes is take a break and leave and get off camera. Do you think there's something to that? I mean, it's tough because like as a Universal Champion, like you need to be there every day and do shows and, people come to see you. But it does seem like taking a break always ends up being a benefit for a lot of the WWE superstars. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think separation can enhance the affection, right? Like it's like even relationships. I think it's like a humanly psychological thing. If when you're away from your significant other, you miss them, and when you see them, usually it's a good thing. There's a lot of passion and love and admiration and affirmation that goes on once you reconnect. So you couple that with a great success in different genres of entertainment, with his movies and Suicide Squad and Peacemaker and all the other projects that he's got going on, and I think that's a recipe for success.
So when it comes about that you're going to main event SummerSlam with Cena, are you happy because he's coming back and there's buzz, or is it you'd rather a new guy get that chance, or maybe you've had your things with Cena already? Like, how do you feel about it going into it?
I think it's a great position to be in. Like I said, he's which I just watched the Suicide Squad. I thought it was really good. Way. No offense to the first one, but way better than that first one. They did a really good job of, putting a new spin on the, sometimes when you see these characters like Dwayne or Dave or even John, you can't help but to think of the WWE superstar, John Cena or Dave Bautista or The Rock. But I thought they did a really good job of casting him into a position and a role to where it was refreshing to see him. So it's obviously he's coming with, some really great success, but I think it was it's a really good position to be in, especially for someone like myself, who's been doing, in my opinion, some of the best work of my career. And you couple that with a perfect storm, like a big movie star coming back, thinking things are going to be the same, thinking he's still got that step left. And when the reality is we're gonna really expose that and put it on blast in Vegas, and what better way to do it than in the main event of SummerSlam? What better way to do it than in front of 50, 60, 70,000 plus fans? in Allegiant Stadium. So it's going to be a great outing for myself.
So I have to ask, I mean, I basically can ask you a million questions about just the phenomenal missionary line that you threw out there on SmackDown.
Sure.
Because I tweeted that, and then John, I guess, came back and I said, I love that they're building a feud here just basically around the missionary position, which I thought was hysterical. But so first things first, did you write the line? Did someone else write the line? Did you because here's the thing. Okay. It's a great line and you could deliver it. The way you delivered it was tremendous with your head basically on a swivel. Take me through the process of delivering that and then how much trouble you got in, because I know they edited it out. So I hope you didn't get, reprimanded too much.
There was a portion of my career where, I'd either read a script or I would try to adjust a script as much as possible. But for a while now, especially since I come back from my little leave during the beginning of the pandemic, since SummerSlam, I'm not scripted. I say what I want to. I say what I feel, and if it comes out of my mouth, it's my verbiage. I come up with it. I deliver it, and that's why it's been the way it's been, because it's mine. What was the other?
Well, congratulations, because it's a great line, and the way you delivered it was great. What happened when you got backstage? Because I know they edited it out of the.
Yeah. I don't know why they edited that out, and I think it did raise some eyebrows. But no, I don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? The gimmick is as close to being real as possible. You know what I mean? So I mean, even if they try to say something to me, I wouldn't have cared anyways. What are you gonna do? Not have me on SmackDown next week? Yeah, like I did before SummerSlam during last summer. I'll go home. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. Let's see how it goes without me.
I love people that can do what they want. So great.
It's great. It is. It's awesome.
What? So I won't harp on it, but I'm just curious. Did you have that line ready to go when you walked out the curtain, or did you think of it as you were doing the promo? How long in advance did you come up with that gem?
Everything's a bit of a feel. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is my job, so I have a game plan, and I'm attached to the creative process. So we're always brainstorming. We're always coming up with new material. But like you said before, it's all on the delivery. You can have the coolest lines of all time, but if you're not connected to it, you're not within the skin of what you're trying to do, it's not going to come off right. So you have to really put yourself in that position and try to deliver it accordingly. So yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't something that was holstered, throughout the week or the month or anything like that. A lot of my stuff is because I have to be in that process. I have to be on location and in the mode, because there are huge differences between who I am, in real life, between Joe and Roman, right? I'm a father and a husband. That's the priority. But when it's time to go to SmackDown or time to go to a WWE event, I have to put on that whole head of the table, mindset, that whole tribal chief, skin, and try to display that as authentically as possible.
Do you ever have trouble keeping track of all the nicknames? There's a lot of nicknames for you out there. A lot of nicknames and a lot of, yeah. Acknowledge me, the head of the table, the tribal. There's a lot going on with Roman Reigns right now.
We've created a whole bunch of stuff, right? It's been a lot, but no, I mean, that's why I have a great team around me, and we hopefully can continue to develop these compelling storylines and narratives and catchphrases. And it's obviously within WWE, sports entertainment, the wrestling business. That's a huge part of connecting to the crowd, is creating these mantras and mottos that people can connect to and remember and tag along.
It's interesting too, because sometimes it's really just the simplest things. I mean, you have a 2-word phrase, acknowledge me. Like, that's it. And, it's there. Everyone knows it. It's stuck. It's effective. It says something about less is more sometimes.
Yeah. And it really goes back to that delivery and those minor details. I think, and they say the devil's in the details, and that's what's so important. Is I'm not trying to confuse anybody. I'm not trying to trick them with my performance. I want them to be able to like chew on it and digest it and understand and go on that ride with me and feel these emotions that I'm trying to convey and I'm trying to trigger. And yeah, man, less is best in my opinion, but you have to be able to display these things and deliver them on point. Otherwise it doesn't connect and translate the same. So I think the small details and those nuances that I try to continually progress at and perfect are a lot of the reason why I'm in the position that I am.
Is this the best time, your most favorite time of your career?
Oh, without question, yeah. I'm enjoying myself. I really am.
You deserve it. There's a lot of crap that you went through, so it's good to see you what's going on now. And of course, you're helped by the great Paul Heyman. I will admit, when I heard the missionary line, there was a part of me that thought, I wonder if Heyman came up with that one, because it's usually him saying the outlandish stuff. I know there's one famous video on YouTube where he's cutting it's supposed to be a serious promo, and you put your head down and it looked like you were not fully able to contain the laughter. How often does that happen? Have you ever come close to really losing it? Because a couple of weeks ago, I know social media went nuts when he was doing the John Cena, how often does it get difficult to keep it straight when Paul Heyman's doing his thing?
It can be tough at times. I think we were doing it was like the 10 bell salute to Daniel Bryan's career or something like that.
Yes.
And man, I think that's, huge kudos to Paul and his experience, his career, the path that he's, carved out within this industry and also, leading this industry for a portion of that time and taking it to, different thresholds and extremes that, have never been done before. They're constantly trying to be emulated, but it's just never going to be the same. Right. But I think that's just goes to show that, the experience and the level of performance that he provides. And that adds just a great weapon in my arsenal to be able to have someone like Paul Heyman, which I don't think there's anyone like him. He's a one of one. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
To be able to have him in my corner to bounce ideas off of, to riff and brainstorm about it, the creative or whatever, whether it's a line, whether it's a delivery. I mean, there are a lot of times where Paul, listen to this. What do you think? And he's straight up. That's not you. Or yes, you know what I mean? So, and he does a great job. It's almost like he has I can't call it a coach, because sometimes, there's obviously different coaching methods, but Paul has this unique sixth sense of knowing when to deposit a confidence coin in a performer and just give you that one little set of affirmation where you just I am the man, you know what I mean? Right. You might not have been right. You're on the cusp of having that full, let's go out there and crush this thing in front of millions of people. And he can just say one little thing to where you, without question, you believe in what you're doing. So man, I've said it before. I don't think, I'm sure I could do it, but I don't think I would want to do this without him in my corner. And he's one of very few. I had two requests. I wanted to work with Michael Hayes. That's my guy. He's been with me from the Shield days, and even before that with my family, and a lot of the people around me have been, in relations and in close contact with my family, even before my time as a performer, back when I was just a kid. So they have a great history with my family, and they've taken to me, like family, like blood. And those are two guys who are critical in my process, Michael Hayes and Paul Heyman.
Speaking of family, I think the last time I had you on, it was before the Royal Rumble. I think that's when you came on, and I had mentioned, there were a lot of speculation about you and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, facing each other at WrestleMania, and you made a point to me that I hadn't thought of, which was obviously a very astute point about, there's not going to be fans, or it's going to be they ended up with fans at WrestleMania, but you made the point that this might not be the right time for it because of what's going on with the pandemic and fans, limited fans, whatever. Now, obviously, we're going through this crazy stuff here with the variant, but you would expect next WrestleMania, the fans are back. So can we see you and The Rock finally?
Well, I think we have like a critical ingredient to throw back into the bowl of sports entertainment, right? But I'll leave you with this question, I guess, myself is, do we do it now, or do we wait till we're in his backyard of Hollywood? So it's one of those. There's
another curveball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. It just adds to the narrative. It adds, another dynamic to speculate on. So, I think obviously AT&T Stadium, Dallas, home of the Cowboys, 100,000 plus fans could be in attendance. That's obviously an awesome scenario, but SoFi Stadium, brand new facility out there in LA, that makes quite the argument in its own right.
It's a good nugget. I like that you throw that out there. Obviously, we have a long way to go before any WrestleMania. We've got SummerSlam on Saturday, August 21st, WWE Network in Vegas. Do you get excited by going to Vegas? Do you like Vegas? Do you like to can Roman Reigns even sneak into a casino and go to a blackjack table?
Well, it's been a long time since I've done anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I do like casinos. I'm not a gambler, but I like the environment. I like the vibe and the lights and it's just a good time. I mean, even if you're not like, a table shark or whatever, but like, no, it's continually getting harder to be able to sneak around and go unnoticed now, which is like it's a blessing, obviously.
Right.
But I don't think I'm like an introvert by any means. I think I know how, I'm very, I'm social in the right setting, I would say. But I don't mind staying to myself. And that's one thing that, I think remains about me is I'm not looking for any more attention. I don't need any more attention than I'm already getting. That's not what I signed up for this for. I don't really care about fame. I enjoy making money and earning money, and the comfort of abundance. I enjoy entertaining people and being able to be creative and craft a storyline and go out there and have the help to be able to storytell physically. But everything that comes along with it within my own, real, pretty much from like Saturday morning until Friday morning, or Thursday night, I would rather just go unnoticed and nobody know who I am.
You have
flip that switch on Fridays and be, the guy. But
and you have a lot of kids. You have, I don't know if everyone listening knows this, but I've said this to you before. It blows me away that you have two sets of twins. I think that's so cool. So obviously you have your hands full when you're not in the Roman Reigns world. I know as a fan, I actually like that they're doing this on a Saturday instead of a Sunday with the with SummerSlam. As a wrestler, do you even care? It makes no difference to you, I would assume.
No, I mean, I'm as someone who's been in this process for a while, we, typically, and we have been of late, since we've come back to live crowds, is we work on Saturdays pretty much every single week, and I've done it for years. So it doesn't, from a performance standpoint, it doesn't change anything for me. I think it was just more of a strategical thing, being the location in Vegas and just how travel is, the percentages of, how Vegas is populated with tourists and stuff like that. And when it comes down to it, most people are trying to get out of there Sunday because they're going back to their work week on Monday. So it made great sense, obviously, to do it Saturday when, the numbers of, the Vegas numbers in general are going to be higher.
Right. Now, before we wrap, Lee, come here. I got my niece here. She's a huge Roman Reigns fan. Huge. In fact, she went to a birthday party over the weekend, and she got her friend a head of the table T-shirt. So you got my money for your merch. And she wanted to ask a question, and I told her it can only be a good question. She actually came up with a good question. Look, there's Roman.
Hi.
Ask the question, because I think this is a good one, and I want to know the answer, too. Go ahead.
You once speared Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania in 2017 against the game Triple H. What happened afterwards backstage, after spearing your boss?
So WrestleMania 2017. I mean, after she came up with this, I went and watched it. I mean, you gave Stephanie a legit spear. You go backstage after. It's the boss's daughter. She's the boss. What happens?
Well, I'll just say this. She took it like a champ, right? She did a great job. And like you said, I didn't really pull, any of the physicality out. I mean, she took a full on spear, and that's how you should do it in the main event of WrestleMania. But yeah, I mean, she was obviously a little bit sore and not very happy about that. But I think everybody after a main event of a WrestleMania is ecstatic that it, the going through that process and the adrenaline rush of the performance, and then also celebrating a phenomenal moment within, the live audience, everybody watching at home. So it was one of those things that I think she got over really quickly, and enjoyed the success of being a part of that main event, with her husband, Triple H. And then also, I think, for her to be a part of that performance with her own father watching on, being Vince McMahon and seeing this whole, spectacle go down and watch her be a part of the greatest live event in entertainment history. It was a special moment, I think, for everybody. So I'll say she wasn't ecstatic, but I think she was happy with the moment to be a part of that main event.
Good question. All right, let me finish with Roman. All right, thank you. I actually was.
Thank you.
It's funny because you mentioned when I talked earlier about the missionary line. You said, "What are they going to do? I can't get in trouble." Back then, 2017, were you a little did you think, "Oh, I could get in trouble for this," or has it? You had the same attitude back then, or now? Now you're really the untouchable.
No, I'm sure there was maybe a little more concern, but it's kind of it's that main event tightrope, right? Yeah. Where you have to be able to push the envelope, but you also have to be professional and stay within the confines of what we're trying to do and the audience that we're trying to reach. And then also the example that we have to set. Cause I mean, just a few years ago, your niece was 13, 12 years old, maybe. So you have to think about those things. And I think that's where it's important. And I will say, I don't want to give him too much credit here, but that's something I think that was special about Cena in his career, is to be able to transition from that ruthless aggression to the PG, turn that went on through the middle of his career. That's a challenge, it's not easy to go out there and entertain, especially when there's a good portion of our audience that are, men. Well, let's get my age right for you. Middle 30s, right?
I thought we'd go the whole interview without bringing that up. I can't believe it. You got it in there. You got it in there. That's good.
But that's good. It takes some skill, and it takes some creativity to be able to connect with an audience, but not just smash F-bombs and reference turning things sideways and sticking it, and chugging beers, and it's no discredit to those guys who did that before me. That was the barriers and the boundaries of the performance back then. And if that was the case now, I would probably be pushing the envelope just like they did. Yeah. But we have, we're all playing the game as it's, as the rules are set, for each individual.
So is there any chance at all between now and when you actually have that match with John Cena at SummerSlam on Saturday, August 21st in Las Vegas on the WWE Network, we get another missionary reference?
I don't know about the missionary reference. And let's just throw a little, respect on the missionary. I think we can all agree any position is a good position, right? But over and over and over for 15 years straight, the same thing, it gets stale, it gets tired. You have to be able to show that evolution. You have to be able to, you know, throw the curveball and show those layers of the performer. And that's all I'm trying to push out of John. You know, he's trying, in his mind, and that's like the greatness of these characters, is we all have a justification and we're all rationalizing our you know, our viewpoint and our position. But when it comes from me, I'm trying to make a better John Cena, because a better John Cena is just good for our audience. And who better to push him than me and my character? And if I can't get something fresh out of him, then I haven't done my job. So I think that's what's going to be really cool.
I'm sure it'll be amazing. And I can ask a million follow-up questions to what you just said, but I'll probably never get another WWE person on. So we'll just leave it at that. And we'll tell everyone. This will be the very last question. The first time I ever interviewed you, you told me you were a big Seinfeld fan, which I am, and I told you got to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm because you said you had not. And then the couple of times I interviewed you since then, you said you never got around to it. Now you're even busier than ever, so I know there's no chance. But I just want to check: have you gotten into Curb yet at all? No. Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I would normally, this is where I would maybe say something nasty, even though you're the WWE Universal Champion, but you have two sets of twins. I can't fault you for not, you know, binging a show that's been on for 10 seasons. So it's okay. But if you ever need a new show, that's the show.
One day. And then once I get into it, I'm going to request the interview with you. Switch this whole process.
You can come on anytime. I always appreciate it. And good luck with SummerSlam, Saturday, August 21st, WWE Network, which is now, of course, on Peacock. Do they give you Peacock for free as your WWE champion? I would hope so. I hope they don't make you pay the... Yeah, good. Okay.
For sure.
So that's where everyone can get it. WWE Network on Peacock, Saturday, August 21st, SummerSlam, Roman against John Cena. And you could always see Roman every Friday night on Fox on SmackDown. Roman, thanks a lot. I always appreciate talking to you and appreciate you giving me the time.
Yeah, no problem, Jimmy. Thanks for having me, man.